Hey guys, Hafa Adai. I know my phone's a little off right now, but I have it set up to where I'll be pointing out more than anything towards the road and not at me. So, but happy Tuesday evening. Hopefully everyone is doing well. And like I did on my last live stream, I just wanted first to do a quick shout out to DJ and Dean for pushing my channel this past weekend. In case you didn't see my last live stream, at least the beginning of it, and especially my post that I made, I had gone to bed Saturday night with my subs sitting at 986 or 87, something like that. And then when I woke up Sunday morning, and I checked my stats, I was sitting at 997. And then within 2 hours, I actually hit 1K subs. But if you look at my channel right, oh, good job there, buddy. Because you're so impatient. Anyways, but if you look at my channel now, I'm not sitting at 1K, but that's okay. I'm sitting at 992, which is still more than what I had gone to bed with on Saturday night. So thank you, DJ. Thank you, Dean, for that shout out and for pushing my channel. I really do appreciate it. Hey, TG. Yeah, I'm actually on my way to Michael's right now. It's something that I had talked about, and in case, you know, if you haven't seen the short video I did where I got caught in the rain when we were out working. But how are you tonight, Tornado? Thank you for joining. I ended up losing my flower that I was wearing on my hat. It was a purple flower, and my husband found it, but it had been run over. Hey, Dennis. Thank you for popping in. How are you tonight? I'm live streaming to you from Central Texas. So right now it is 5:33 p.m. and I'm on my way to Michael's because I want to do some crafting. And as I was saying, oh, you enjoyed the boat tour? If it wasn't so hot, you know, it would have, you know, it was fun. And in that same live stream, there was you know, because they have a handful of their tour guides, and there was another guy, and he was the one that I was hoping we would have, but oh well, it's okay. It was still a fun boat ride. But he, you know, was joking around and all of that, so it seemed like that one, especially my grandbabies, probably would have enjoyed his cracking up and whatnot. I think he was the one who was talking when we were still walking along the river walk, and I overheard them saying, if you fall in the water, don't panic, just stand up. Because the river walk is 3 to 4 feet. Thank you for that, NATO. But hello and Hafa Adai for everybody that's popping in. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I'm on my way to Michael's because what I was saying was that I lost my flower that I would wear on my hat while we're working. And so we're going to head over to Michael's. We're going to pick up some supplies, and I want to make another one. And I actually want to make a couple of different options because the one I was wearing was purple, and my favorite, or one of my favorite colors, is blue. So I definitely want to give myself some options, and especially depending on what color I'm wearing, I can change up the flowers that I'm wearing. But there we go. Look at the road. I don't know why they had those awesome. You didn't know? Oh, okay. Well, now you know. The next time you head on over to San Antonio, you should check out the river walk. I mean, it is right next door to the Alamo. I mean, just in that area, there is so much to see. And there's a mall that's also right along the Riverwalk. Well, thank you for popping in. Yeah, not working at the moment. We'll hopefully I'll do a live stream tomorrow when we do get to do some gig work. But as of today, I'm going to be doing a crafting live video. Enjoy the rest of your day. So yeah, that's what this live stream is about. Yes, I appreciate everyone who pops in. So yeah, one of the things I was also going to try out for tonight's live stream was, I mean, I've never done it before, so if they have plain white flowers, you know, and I would color them, so I can do like a multicolor flower. I hope so. I hope so. Oh, do you? What kind of crafting do you do? Initially, when I first started doing crafting, I was making necklaces and bracelets, and it was mainly with shell pieces and wooden pieces. And then I started to change it up and was working with resin. I would make t-shirts. I work with acrylic paint. So just, I dabbled. And then for maybe about a year, I was trying to sell the stuff that I was making. And that was before we did the food truck. My hubby wants me to get back into doing the t-shirts because I still do have my Cricut machine, and I do have some supplies to do the screen printing. Lately none, but I can paint and carve well. Oh, that is awesome. No, I'm not talented like that. I'm not artistic like that. I cannot draw. I definitely cannot draw. My workbench is covered with projects, mostly things that need fixed. You like to multitask, Nato. But here we are at Michael's. I was gonna buy some supplies at Walmart the other day yesterday when the hubby and I were out, and then I realized, I was like, wait a minute, why? And you better not take in my parking spot. I was like, why am I gonna buy stuff at Walmart when I have a $50 gift card that I've had for at least 3 years, a little over 3 years. There are some of my prints on my channel, but I need to post better shorts of them. Oh, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check that out, Dennis. All right, so we're about to go into, but like I said, this was the flower that I was wearing, and it got so windy that day when we got caught in the rain that it pulled it off the rim of my hat. And I'm gonna have to take this into the store too, because I just want to make sure. But anyways, it was supposed to be a brooch, and it had the pin and the clip, but as you can see, it was run over. So it's been destroyed. So I'm going to see if I can try and find something like this, you know, a base like this, so I can recreate some, you know, different clips to put on my hat. I'm also trying to see if I can find a band. So instead of clipping it, I can just simply, almost like the hair tie type situation, but something that's not as tight as this to put on the rim of my hat. So that's what I'm thinking. So we'll see how well that works. But let's go into Michael's. There's Michael's. Know if Terry was watching, she'd be like, Michael's. I mean, I would be coming, a lot of the supplies I would order online, but I would still be visiting because it's so much easier to walk into Michael's or even Hobby Lobby and have things right then and not have to wait 1, 2, you know, days or weeks for your stuff to come in. Oh, you do fishing streams on YouTube? Ah, okay. What kind of fish do you like going for? All right, let's go. I'm trying to see. Let's look at the flowers. That's a pretty red one. But the colors I want to stick with are blue, red, and I want to try and stick to tropical flowers. But even if I can't find the tropical flowers, as long as I find the right color, I don't want something too bulky. So, look, it's the hibiscus flowers. I want to say I do have some at home. I do have some of the hibiscus flowers at home. So, bulky, as I said, it's ones I can eat. There are a lot. We live 10 minutes away from the beach and the river. Oh, very nice. Very nice, very convenient. That is a gorgeous color. But this is exactly what I was talking about it being bulky. In Guam, I mean, I've only fished like maybe once or twice, but not in Guam. The one fish that is my favorite is the parrotfish, or it's also a lot of tiny bones to worry about. And these are spring flowers. This is what I was talking about. If I could get one of these flowers and so I don't know if I can buy the individual. Uh-oh. Trying to say that reception might not be the greatest in here. If it's choppy, I can re. Now these, Guam and Hawaii, these are known as the plumeria. Very popular in Guam. So I'm gonna take one of these, and hopefully, y'all, that I don't lose reception. So, I mean, in Guam they have these in different colors. I could probably still take them and do my best at coloring them. I like the blue. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Let's see what happens as I move further into the store. Pretty. Ooh, that butterfly. See about foliage. Ooh, look at the red ones. Like I said, I'm just winging it. I have no idea what I'm doing. Let's see if I can find any other material that I need here. Some of this material I know I do have. And babe, if you're still watching, I think it should still be right there on the desk in the loft, but I'm not 100% sure. Floral brick art. What? Uh-oh. Where's the ones? I wonder if they have the stuff to make the brooch. Because I think that's where I'll find the flat piece. Excuse me. Um, I was wondering, do you guys have the pieces to where, like, to make a brooch, the flat part where it'll have the clip and then a flat piece?
Bottom down there.
Thank you. Wait.
This bottom section here. So these ones have little adhesive strips on them, but
Okay.
they're brooch backs, and then for brooch. For some reason, there's an alligator clip in that one. I have no idea why. But these are all pin backs.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
All right, so, okay, this is the piece that I was looking for. I just need the flat piece like this to attach to this, to the base. They had it at Walmart. See, these are small. So now, because this is silver, I have to get the silver one. Well, I just... I could always use the alcohol inks, and that'll definitely... But they are so expensive. And with the alcohol inks, hopefully as I go further into the store, I don't lose reception again. And look at that. See, they have... That's a laser printer right there. All right, crossing fingers we don't lose reception. working with the markers, I don't have um, I'm okay. So since I do have both of you on here, Dennis and Tornado, like if I wanted to add color to um, this flower, what kind of, like I said, I could use alcohol ink and just drop it on there, and it'll add color to the petals if I want to change it up. Because I know in Guam we do have pink. I want to say we got like red ones as well for the plumeria flowers, but I'm familiar with coloring material like that. So I don't know if alcohol ink would be better, or the markers, the fabric markers. I don't think it's over here. I thought about that. I even looked at videos on that one there. I was just looking at something that to where I could, so I don't know. So what, with the watercolor, I would just mix the watercolor and then take the flower, kind of like pinch it, and then dip it in the water. And then depending on how dark I want it is how long I'll leave it dipped in there. Because in my mind, the way I was picturing it would be that I was just taking a marker, and I guess that could take a while, and just basically painting it. But you're saying the watercolor would be a good way to try that out? All right, so here's the t-shirts. So where are those? Fabric, there you go. Like these. $20, good Lord. Fabric markers. See, I have no experience with that one. You could paint it on the dryer. Fabric ink markers. Cause see, look, this one has red and blue in there. Oh, it's a fine tip. It's on most light colored fabrics, water resistant, chlorine resistant, permanent, dries quickly. Are you talking about painted like with this one? Oh, I didn't realize how expensive they would be. Dual tip ink markers, fabric ink markers. So that's bold, but that's $20. This was a round chisel tip. All right, we're gonna have a little fun. We'll just test it out. Well, this one's also, well, this is bright colors. I don't know. Let's just try this for now. Because like I said, I'll be testing it on this one. I got a handful on that bouquet, so I'll just test it out on a couple of the petals there, and we live and we learn, right? All right, let's go check that out. That's true in reference to quality. All right. Let's head home and see what we can make with these flowers and the supplies I bought. I'm not going to bother fighting with there, so let's go this way. Why are you not focusing? Focus, focus. What's going on with my camera? I don't think I've even as much as tie-dyed a shirt before. I mean, I've seen people do it. I've, watched videos about it, and, it always looked fun to do that. So one of these days, maybe I'll try doing a tie-dye. In reference to coloring material, especially when it comes to clothes, I've seen a couple of videos where they're still wearing the clothes. I know, Tornado, you mentioned about, using the watercolor and then dipping it. That it just now reminded me of this woman's channel, and I think she was wearing wedding dresses, but she would be wearing it, and she would dip her entire body while wearing the dress into the different colors. And I'm like, why would you want to be dipping yourself? It was weird, but I watched it. And it would be interesting on how the dresses or the clothes would come out afterwards. But it still just boggled my mind why she'd be wearing the clothes. I said we'll head home and see what we can make. Like I said, it's been, I've worked with flowers and creating different things, but the fake flowers like what I just bought, but not making the clips for my hat. So it'll be another first for me during a live stream. But let's watch the road. See. Earlier when my daughter Zoe and I went out to grab something for lunch, the pickup was saying it was 99 degrees out. Right now my car is saying it's 93. It's overcast right now, and so it's now 6:16 here in Texas, and it doesn't feel as hot as it did earlier. I don't know if it's because of the overcast or not, but like I said, my car is still saying it's 93. I don't know what the feels like is. That's the other thing I'll need. I need to make sure I grab my hubby's whatchamacallit, so I can clip the flowers. Oh, this is flowers out of tissue paper. That's right. In high school, I used to do the same thing, but that was in high school, using tissue paper, or how do you say, like the crepe paper, the ones that is really thin. That is right. What? Oh, nice. You're just a jack of all trades then, when it comes to being creative like that. Yeah, I used to, I mean, it's funny because I'm not big on wearing jewelry, but when I craft, that's what I'm making. Earrings, bracelets, necklaces, anklets, you know. And some stuff I craft, put together just using shells and wooden pieces and stuff like that, glass pieces. And then some stuff I would create from using resin, making earrings and pendants. Once I start, I mean, not that I didn't have fun, with the materials I used prior to using resin, but I really had fun working with resin. So when the hubby and I and my daughter, one of my daughters would help when we would do the craft fairs, I would have small trinket style pieces of resin pieces, and the larger items. I didn't get into the real big pieces. Like, I see some really artistic and talented people out there on their videos, creating tabletops, creating a counter, a tabletop counter. So it's I'm not that level. My grandson used to make wristbands, things like that with. I tried one time, you know, to add to the type of bracelets I would make. But I didn't really get into that. I wanted to add to the way I would put the bracelets together, and that's why I tried to watch videos on how to make bracelets using those cords. But I never really got into it, so I wanted different ways to clasp, I guess. You know, I wanted the type of bracelets where you would have like the lobster claw and the regular type clasps to put your bracelets on, but I also wanted the type of bracelets that are easy to slip on. So it's but like I said, I never really got into it, so I stuck with the ready-made cords that you could order for bracelets and even for the necklaces. Oh, I just heard that on the radio. So what does everybody have planned for July 4th? I've already told my hubby, I was like, I want to see fireworks. It doesn't have to be exploding right above our heads, but I still want to see it to where once as they're exploding, it's still pretty big. So my idea, which I haven't told my hubby yet, so I don't know if he's watching right now. I want to go bowling. We did that one year because here in town they always have this big thing and all day starting at 11 o'clock at the park where they're holding the fireworks at night. But we did it one year where we parked at the bowling alley and then we went to the park itself and we checked out the activities and whatnot that was held there. And then after that, we did that for about an hour, and then we went back to the bowling alley and we went bowling. We did the arcade, we ate, and then because where the bowling alley is compared to where the park is, where they're going to be doing the fireworks, it's pretty much just across the street. So when we're done, we just go out to the parking lot, sit in our car, and enjoy the fireworks. At least that's the plan. Whether it happens like that, we'll just have to wait and see. Did you find my hot glue gun? Huh? I know, but I'm not sure if it was right there on the desk or not. Just left the car. Let's get in the house and get set up, huh?
Did you ask me to look for it?
Yes, I did. on the live stream. That's why I said if you're still watching.
I didn't get it.
But I said that when I was still at Michael's.
No, because you were glitching out, so I turned it off.
Oh, you turned it off? How rude.
For like 10 minutes. I was like, alright. I was trying to play my game, man.
Can you bring a glass?
The iPad.
It's right here. But can you bring a glass of water upstairs, please? All right, let's get set up. When I was doing my crafting full time, especially because when you're working with resin, you know, it can take up a lot of time. And when I was first putting my products together and I was still working at the bank, I would craft before going to work. I would craft when we're going to bed. So he wasn't always happy about that part because it occupied a lot of my time. Whoopsie, I didn't mean to bring the keys up here. All right. Let's see if I can. Let's set this up. So this. Thank you. You said you saw the glue gun up here?
Yeah, check one of these back. Like this.
Thank you. I could have sworn I did have one that was already.
This was a baby clothes.
Close by.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
Can you ask Zoe
I'll come across
if
them.
she knows? I know. We'll come across it and then we lose it.
And then I'm doing shit. So.
Are you cooking? Playing your game?
I'm trying.
And I'm interrupting?
I don't know why I'm freaking, stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mean to bring that up here. Okay, so, but this is the resin that I was talking about. Dennis, if you're still there. I usually work with the 2-part resin pieces. And that's working with resin and acrylic paint on these pieces. But that's what I was talking about. I would buy the cords already put together. I would buy the chains already put together. So, but can you ask Zoe? I know I just saw it. That's the crazy thing. I just saw it when we're looking for stuff. But yeah, a lot of my crafts got boxed up and put in closets and whatnot. So, but this is what I was talking about. See, it comes in different colors. So this one's already colored, or it comes that way. But in Guam, it's not necessarily where it's a lot of white and then it's got the pink tips and whatnot. I mean, the entire flower would be pink, kind of like the dark pink. But this ultimately, what I was gonna try and do with this flower, ultimately, this is what I was going to try and do, is to get that same effect where the tips have those colors. You know, making some blue ones, making some red ones. So let's give it a try. Well, hopefully my hubby can find, because I know I saw where that glue gun was. But again, you know how it is when you're going through your stuff and you come across stuff that you're currently not looking for. And then when you're actually looking for that item, hey mama, Hafa Adai, thank you for joining. But then when you're ready to find that stuff and you're like, where did I see that? Where did I put that? You found it? Yay! Thank you. Thank you. So he found it. At least this is just one of them.
That's only one blue stick, though. I don't know what the rest of them are.
Hopefully that's enough. I mean, I don't plan on making a lot, but what I plan on trying to do is, if you remember from one of my other videos and my live streams, I was talking about the flower that I lost when I was working that day, and it would be the flower that I would put on the lip of my hat, and I lost it. My hubby found it. It was run over, so it was destroyed. So what I'm gonna try and attempt during this live stream is to recreate different style clips. So I don't even know if this is going to work on the bill of that hat. But how are you tonight? Because this, compared to the one that I had, is pretty big. And not that I have a lot of hair like I used to. I mean, I can still ultimately put it in my hair just like that, but I want it to the point where I still just want to clip it onto my hat. So that still works. That still works. I thought it might have been too big for the bill of my hat, but it works. So one of the things I was going to try and do was the same effect that I see on this flower for the plumeria, where it's colored on the tips. I kind of want to try and recreate on the plain white ones. So I do have some fabric ink markers to give this a try. And it's I believe this is Michael's brand, so I don't know. I have yet to really dabble in this, doing this type of crafting. So we're going to do this together. My desk is still a mess from the last time I did a crafting video up here, so don't mind the mess. But I'll point this down. So like I said, the idea is to recreate what's happening with this type of flower. And because see, I do have my alcohol ink, and I think using this would make it fat. A lot of my alcohol ink has dried out because it's been so long since I've used it, even though I have it in a container and everything, but a lot of them have dried out. But I thought, you know, I would just drop it on there and see if I could do that. But it feels like I might not have too much control on how much coverage. But if you're just now popping in, Hafa Adai, don't forget to smash that like button, please. And thank you. See too is my Aussie. All right, so that way I can see any comments that are coming in. Can you dump some rubbing alcohol in it? Well, that is true. Definitely. If I had the little dropper, I could put, a marker on the tip and then let it absorb some of the ink, and then take the alcohol and drop it on there, and that can help spread it. That definitely would be something to try. That's an idea there, NATO, if that's what you were talking about. But I know when I was in the store earlier, you had mentioned about using the watercolor, and because I'm working with smaller material, that's why I was saying if I had a little, container, and I would mix the watercolor in here, and then I could take that and then just dip it in there, because unless I want to change the entire color of the flower, I would just dump the whole thing in there. But ultimately, again, that's what I want to try and recreate, is the color on the tips. So like I said, I believe this is the Michaels brand. Make Market, I'm not familiar, but I was going to try the red, and I'm going to try the blue on there and see how well it works. You ever get those markers that has a scent to it, that when you're working with it, you'll work with it, smell, work with it, smell. That was pretty dangerous when they came up with the scented markers. You know what I mean? All right, let's see how well this is going to work. So we're going to try the red first, and I'm just going to touch the tip to it and see if it absorbs it. I barely touched it. All right. I don't know if it's going to be a little sloppy. I want to get that faded if I could. So there's one. I need to get the tips on that. I don't know how well I'll keep it, what's the word, unified, what's the word I'm looking for? Might be coloring it a little too much. I was basically just trying to make sure that the tips are the ones that have most of the color. I'm not doing this as well as. Hey Cassandra, good evening. How are you? So the idea was to try and mimic something like this, but I think I might have overdone it. But this is just a practice. This is just a practice. So let me see if I can just keep it a little thinner and see what happens. If that's what I should have been doing initially. And maybe... So, like I said, it's not, yeah, I think I might have, on a couple of the petals, I might have added too much color to the tips. I think I probably should have kept it more like this one here. And because that's, like I said, this is the effect I was trying to go for. So I might have done it a little too much on these, especially the first petal that I did. I should probably just color the entire thing and see what it looks like. Might as well on this one. You're working? And how's it going? How's it out there right now? But the reason why I'm doing this is because I lost the flower, one of my more favorite ones, when I got caught in the rain and it was windy that night or that day. So it was blown off my hat, even though it was clipped on. So I'm just trying to see if I can find a way to, I might not even use these if it doesn't come out, because you know how it is when you've got an idea, and whether it's about a writing idea, a movie idea, you know, whatever the idea is, and you have it pictured in your head, and it looks great, it sounds great, but then when you are done, you're like, yeah, that's not what I was thinking. I was like, that is not how I pictured it at all in my head. You know? That's happening right now with my first flower that I am coloring. So, Tornado, if you're still there, if I had done what you had suggested and used watercolor, if I dipped it I thought I wouldn't have much control, but I think it would just look more natural if I had done it your suggestion. But Cassandra, it's been rough in my market, especially my home zone with Spark, Uber Eats, DoorDash. This summer lull has just been killing us. It has just been killing us. I had this weekend I had spent time in San Antonio and Corpus Christi with my daughter and her family. They went to SeaWorld this weekend, and I rode up to San Antonio with them to meet up with my sister because we were going to go to the beach and we were going to watch the turtle release, the baby sea turtles. And that was so awesome. That was amazing. If you guys ever find yourself with an opportunity to I don't know where else they do this. I mean, at least for here, my brother-in-law told me that people would fly. People would drive, thousands of miles to go and check out the sea turtle release. And even when we got there, the release starts at 6:45 in the morning. So when we got there was a long line ahead of us. And then there was a long line behind us. And I was even able to take a picture. And on one corner, you could see the rearview mirror. And you got the white lights behind us. And then, but ahead of us, you see a string of red lights of all the cars that were ahead of us. But anyways, I mean, there was hundreds and hundreds of people there. There was 4 sites. 4 female turtles had laid eggs. There was 4 different sites. And my sister heard one number, but I got on video of one of the guys that was helping there. He was walking around with a baby turtle for people to see up close, and especially for the kids. I put a couple of drops of vinegar in the water too. Yes, and it makes it more vibrant when you add the vinegar. It's just kind of like when you're coloring eggs. Which makes me wonder if that would work. If I would go get my food coloring and add a little vinegar to it and dip this in there. But look at that. It's very streaky. So that's definitely not how I pictured it. So I think if I were to add like a couple of drops of alcohol to this, I think that could help fill in a lot of the streaks in there. I mean, from a distance, that doesn't look bad, right? From a distance, you would have to, be up close to be able to see. But actually, this right here, this looks natural. This looks natural from what I remember for the plumeria flowers that were colored and not, to where it was full color, the pink one, which would be kind of like a dark pink. This actually, now that I think of, when I see it up close, this looks natural. But anyways, at minimum, there was 370 something baby turtles released Saturday morning. The guy that I had talked to said it was up to 500 sea turtles released, and that on average each site had about 100 eggs. So I'm still trying to edit that video so y'all can check it out for yourself. But one of my other takeaways from this weekend was, I had so much fun with my sister and her family. We went to 3 different beaches, with the first one being where the sea turtles were released. And then after that, we went to 2 different beaches further up the coast. But and then I went back to hang out with my daughter on Sunday, and we went to the Riverwalk. But other than having fun, I have to tell you what I was able to bring home, other than, some wonderful memories with my sister and my eldest daughter was that I got some really bad sunburn on my feet. I had some tiny spray bottles I used, found them in the travel section. Yep, I've seen those, probably only hold a couple of ounces, but they worked well for staining small areas. I have to, I'll try that. I could still, like I said, I can probably take the food coloring, add some vinegar to it, and then I'll dip the flour in there and see how well that works. But anyways, I ended up getting really bad sunburn on especially my left foot, to where my left foot still isn't 100%. And thankfully, what's not happening is they're not peeling like what would normally happen with sunburns. But my left foot, because here's your tip of the day. If you guys are going to go spend the day at the beach, make sure you stay hydrated. But yeah, my foot was bloated and red. And yeah, the biggest thing for me, and I woke up before I went to bed Saturday, my foot was red and swollen. So when we got to the hotel Saturday night, of course I had my feet up, but when I woke up Sunday morning, my right foot was looking better, but my left foot was still just as bloated as it was, and swollen, should I say, as it was when I went to bed Saturday night. So I've been adding the topical gel, especially once I got home, because it's the aloe gel that has, what is it? It has a little bit of that to help with the pain. Because my biggest thing was just that it was itchy. So, and that I would ice it on and off to help with the itchiness. But that was the biggest thing. I'm just like, I'm trying, and there were times where I couldn't help it, that it would just be itchy. But I'm looking at my left foot now. It's like I said, I'm not back to 100% on my left foot. It's still slightly swollen, but it's not as red, and definitely nowhere near as swollen. But that was my bring home with me. And I don't honestly remember ever getting a bad sunburn. I would just tan. That happens around here, but they are very professional and will ticket people if they interfere with the turtles. Oh, wow. So I don't know, Dennis, if you ever had the chance to see the release of sea turtles where you're at, since it sounds like you're near the coast. But it was pretty cool to see them. I mean, they're so tiny. They're so tiny. But the other interesting thing is that, especially when I zoomed into one of the photos, when he had walked up to us while he was holding one, the head of the turtle, you're thinking baby, that it would be smooth and, looking more babyish. But the head of the turtle, and I don't know if it's just because zooming in, it made it look that way, but it really looked like the turtle had aged, at least in the head of the turtle. So, but it was still very interesting. Very, very interesting. It was a wonderful experience, and I need to keep that in mind, to stay hydrated. But the biggest thing was, because when I went to the beach last July, we went to Myrtle Beach, I was walking around and I did not get sunburn. And thankfully, I did get darker from before I left, when we left on Friday. Sun poisoning is not fun. I got it on vacation at the lake one year, spent a day in the hospital. Oh boy, getting IVs. Then I was useless for at least 2 weeks. Felt like I got hit by a truck. Hydration is the key. Yeah, see, and that's what my hubby was wondering. He was looking at my foot and he was like, babe, what did I tell you, about being hydrated? Hold on, I gotta plug up my... He was like, what did I tell you? You gotta stay hydrated. So, but you know, it is, you know, some beaches, you know, especially where we were at, Port Aransas, they don't have buildings to where you can go and use an actual bathroom. There's only porta potties. And not that I haven't used porta potties. I just don't like using porta potties. That's just a personal thing. But that's what he was concerned about too, especially when I sent him the very first photo of what my foot looked like, or my feet looked like by the end of Saturday night, is that he was looking to see if it could potentially be sun poisoning. So, because like I said, I don't remember getting sunburn, you know, even as a kid, and as much time as we spent out in the sun and at the beach. All right, so I've got my hot gun, my hot glue gun turned on. So let's see if we can put anything together. I mean, like I said, that doesn't look too bad, you know, if you're looking at it from a distance, and especially, you know, on the bill of my hat. And especially if I were to couple it together with another flower. You know, putting more than one flower together. All right, let's see. So the clip that I had bought that got run over, this seems to be a slightly smaller version of that, because the one that had my flower had this piece on there, but there was more room down here. I was actually looking just for the backing to see if I could find that, you know, something that was just a little bit bigger than this one. I mean, look at that. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Getting older sucks health-wise. Yep, it does. So I'm wondering if I should go ahead and still do it this way. I could possibly glue on 2 of them, so then that way I do have more room. I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to create 3 different clips. I'm going to do one where I'm going to glue flowers. I'm going to glue flowers straight onto this clip. And then I'm going to do one where it has just one of these on there. I'm going to glue on that. And then on another one, I'm going to have 2 of them on there. So we'll see. I probably should have the more permanent glue on this one here. But we are going to use my pink flowers. And I've got the white flowers. Let's pluck these babies. And then I've got the blue one here. And I've got the red one. And then the question would be if I should have a couple of the leaves on there. Pretty little flowers, she cries for hours. Is that what you were trying to go for, Tornado? I had one little blister on my shoulder. Doc says it's more about water in, sweat out. Need to keep ahead on hydration and excessive heat, especially if you are overexerting yourself. And I mean, all I was doing was a lot of walking and standing. So, I mean, I wasn't overly exerting myself, and the weather wasn't too bad. The sun for sure was beating down. That is for sure. All right, so it's going to sit on my hat like this. And for those of you guys that didn't know, for islanders that wearing flowers, you wear the flower on the side. You treat it like your ring. You treat it like letting you know you're available or not available. On the left side, just like where you would wear your engagement ring or a wedding ring, you would wear your flower on the left side. And if you're available, you're not married, and for the kids, it goes on the right side. So that's why you would always see me wearing my flower on the left. Now, of course, if you're wearing it at the back of your head, then it doesn't matter. So should I have it this way? And then I could probably, and then I want it to where it can actually sit more flushed instead of laying down, because it makes the flower disappear. I mean, kind of like this. See where it's going to sit like that. And then maybe, just maybe, I can fit that one in there. I don't know. I just don't like that it's, I'm going to probably trim this a little bit to where it can sit more flushed like the red one. And then let me see. So it can be like that. I can have one small, one big, one small. So that's tentatively what it could look like. You can't really see the leaf underneath, but let's see if I can recreate that down here. Okay. So ultimately, on the clip, I'll have it laying like this. I might trim the end of the leaf a little bit, but I'm going to have the leaf and then a small one, the big one, and then the small one, just like that. That would be one style. So let's see what that's going to look like. Let's see. Now you got that song stuck in my head. Thanks, NATO. Pretty little flowers, she cries for hours. I can add extra. That name, I don't know how you would pronounce that name, but it sounds very pretty. Melania. I don't know if that's how you say that. Add an extra leaf. So make it 2 leaves. Or I can have it back to back like this. That way you can see a little bit more of the leaf. and then little flower, big flower, little flower. So that way you can see a little bit more of the leaf. That's good. I like that. So is that how you pronounce that? Melania? But I think that that's very pretty. It's a pretty name. Okay, so we'll try it this way. You got that song stuck in my head. And I tell you, the clip that I had, they definitely loaded on the glue. Hot. All right, so we got the leaf on. Pretty little flower, she cries for hours. Probably should not have had it come out as much on this end. So that's one thing I gotta remember though, is because I need to be able to pinch this. So I can't have, if I'm gonna put the flower there, I need to make it to where it's only one of the petals is right there. Because otherwise, you know, because it's gonna make it a little harder for me to pinch to be able to get so maybe I should just have 2 flowers on there instead of 3. I don't know if this might ruin it. I kind of like that. Kind of like it sitting in there. So there'd be like red and white flowers. The only thing is that it's not, it won't be able to sit as flushed. I mean, I would literally have to cut it, and it might end up breaking it. I kind of like that. What do you guys think? Thank you. I think I'm going to test that out. Dab in the middle, some along the edge so it actually sticks to the stems. Ah. All right. So I got to make sure that it's not directly above the clip. I got to make sure I have enough room to pinch underneath the flower. So it's probably going to have to sit like this. All right, let's give it a try. Trying to, that way I can still clip. I'm just trying to secure it around the edges too. So it's not so obvious with all this glue that I'm putting on. I know it looks like I'm squashing the flour, but I want to make sure it's going to adhere properly. That way it keeps the bloom of the flower open. All right, so that's one on. See if I can repeat it with the other flower. Hot. It's a good thing they come off easily when it gets stuck to your fingers. All right. There's one. All right, so it's not 100% dried. Got a lot of it stuck, not a lot of it, but still got some stuck to my fingers. But I still have enough room in the back to be able to pinch it. So that way I know I could wear it even when I've got a headband on. I could clip it, just slide the clip onto the headband and have it like that. But ultimately, my idea is to be wearing it on my hat. Because, you know, the summer, sunny days. And again, if you're engaged, if you're married, you know, you're off the market, especially when you're wearing flowers, tropical flowers, you want to just like you would your engagement ring, your wedding ring, you want to wear it on the left side. What do you guys think? So that's the red and white one. I can probably, I mean, I've not 100% hid the plumeria, which is a very fragrant flower in Guam, in Hawaii. A lot of tropical climates, you'll find the plumerias. What flowers do I wear to say I'm single? It's not so much as what flower, it is where you wear the flower. So this means I'm off the market, but if you want, you can put it, if you're on the market, you would wear a flower. And yes, men do wear flowers. It's not as easy to put it on when I'm not staring at the bill of my hat, but you could wear it on the right side. So it's not so much as what kind of flower, it's where you wear it. So there's one. So now I have a red one. I like this one. I like how it came out. What do you guys think? Now, the other thing that I was wanting to do, and in my mind, I've been trying to picture how I was going to create it. But one of the other things that I wanted to create for when I'm wearing a hat is get a band of some kind to where instead of clipping it on to my hat, I would actually just slide it on. So then that way, if I wanted to, I can have the flower in the center of the hat, you know? In the center of the hat. Oops. But this could also be worn on the back side. On the back side. But I don't know how well that would actually look with the hat. But if you have a lot of hair and you create a bun on the top of your head, you could actually just slide this on at the top of where the bun would be. Like I said, I don't have a lot of hair, not anymore. I used to have a lot of hair. And whenever I would put my hair in a ponytail, that's where I would actually put the flower, was at the base of the ponytail. So you got the ponytail, and then I would put this at the base of the ponytail, like that. So yeah, so now I have one. So now it makes me wonder if I even need these, because I was able to put that, and I'm glad I decided to have the leaf on there, because it makes it stand out more. It's a little off. I think I had a little bit too much leaf come out on this end. I might just trim this side a little bit, but thank you. These are pretty much the blue and the red flowers. So I might do it again and, you know, create the same effect, but with the blue flowers, the blue and white. It doesn't pop as well. It doesn't pop as well with the red, because this one is a little bit more round. There's more petals to it, and stuff like that. So this doesn't exactly have the same effect. So what happens if I add the red one to it? I mean, I know this one has that in the center, so I can wonder if I can pluck that out. But otherwise, I would do the same thing, and I would glue that together. And now I have a blue and red flower. I like that. Let's do that. But again, it makes me wonder if I even need the round base. But let's trim the base on this one a little bit. So now we're going to do blue and red flowers. We're going to add the glue. Get a lot in there. Uh-oh. I'm running out of glue. I'm running out of glue. No. Hubby did say he doesn't know where the other glue sticks are for this gun. But at least I got one done. So now I got a blue and red one. I don't know how much. I still got some glue in there. But you know how it is. Once it gets to a certain point, it gets harder to push. It gets harder to push out. So it makes me wonder if I should do a leaf. How about we try? This is the leaf from the plumeria. It's too long for sure. That's definitely too long for the clip. I mean, I could always cut it. and glue that on there. And then let's see, is that size? Or is it this size? That's that one. Pretty little flowers, she cries for hours. Da, 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 da. Let's get that stuck on there. One 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Okay. Smash it together. Push. Stick. So now I've got my red and white, and now I've got my blue and red. Now let's see how well these will stick onto. They might be too big. I need to trim this one a little more. Yeah, definitely covering a lot more of the leaf. So these don't have little ones. They're all the same size, or are they? Is it the same size? Well, that one is a little smaller. Okay, so this one is a little smaller, so still got some glue to work with. Press and stick, blue and red, pretty little flowers. She crafts for hours. I don't know how else that song goes. Okay. Right? They don't look like they're the same size. Ah. Oops. All right, let's see. Should it be small and then big? I mean, the benefit, I mean, I know ultimately because these are a little bit wide, more wider than this flower, you will practically not see the leaf, but ultimately the point of having the leaf on here is just to have more ground for the flower to stick to, because these clips aren't wide. So if these were wider, it wouldn't, you know, be a big deal to have a leaf on them or not, but this just provides me a little bit more of a base to pour a lot of glue on there to stick the flowers to. So just like with the first clip, I need to make sure that where I'm going to be pinching the clip, okay, which one's, should I do big and small or small and big? Let's do the big. I need to make sure I'm going to give myself enough room so that way when you're pinching the clip, it's not going to ruin the flower. I mean, even if I were to get like one of the petals, that's okay, because I'm going to try and glue it down as much as possible anyways. But I got to make sure that I have enough room. It's a matter of making sure there's enough room. So you can still kind of see the base of the leaf. All right, let's give this a try. And hopefully I have just enough glue, because like I said, you can still see the glue stick right here. It's once it disappears that it'll really make it difficult to get the glue. Hot. It is hot. But I gotta pinch it together so it'll stick. Uh-oh. I am running out of glue. I might have to take my finger and push the glue stick down, because even when I hit the trigger, see, now you can see where the glue, the end is exposed. So if I can find my extra, because I think where I remember other glue sticks to be aren't the thick ones. I think it would be for the mini glue guns that I have. So right now I only have one flower on there. Let's see how that looks. With just one flower. I mean, that's not bad with just one flower on there. Because that's the bigger of the two. And if I were to stick the other one on there, it would be like that. Well, it would be a little bit more flushed. Hey, Terry. Good evening. How are you? So, if you didn't remember, I lost one of my favorite clips to put on my hat, you know, when I'm working and whatnot, and it was a purple one. I lost it when I got caught in the rain. It got run over, so it was done. So I went to Michael's, which was at the start of this live stream. I had gone to Michael's, and I bought some of the flowers to see if I can make another one. So this is the first one. This one is, I'm in the process of making it, my second one, but this is the first one. And it's just using these type of clips. I think, what were they called? The alligator clips or something like that. Raw. But anyways, so I got my red and white ones. All I did was take one of the red flowers, and I used the plumeria as the base, and I just glued that in there on top of this to, you know, make the colors punch a little bit more. I got glue on my fingers. All right, let me see if I can get this on there. So like for you and I, Terry, when we're wearing this, we would put it on the left side. So no, that was the other thing I was trying to find. I was trying to work out in my head to where I could create, I could create a string of flowers, and because in Guam, when we are connecting the plumeria flowers, we would actually take a needle and thread, and it would go in through there, come out here, and then that's how we sew it to and connected to the next plumeria and so forth. That's how, you know, and that's how we create the lays. But I wanted to do something like that to where it could be like a stretch band of some kind, you know, connected to something that's solid enough for me, you know, something like this, to where I can attach the flowers to that's solid and not stretchy, and then attach something stretchy to it. So all I have to do is slide it onto my hat, and it could be an entire row of flowers instead of just having it on the left or the right. You know, I could actually have it's kind of like the lei that I did get when I went to the island event in May. It was the lei that I was wearing around the entire rim of my hat, but I wanted something a little bit smaller. But yeah, so I got my red and white one. I'm gonna probably trim this so it's not sticking out as much. as the other side. There you go. Tell me again why I would wear it just on the left side. Okay, so for Islanders, basically the flowers, when you wear it on the left, that represents that you're married, that you're taken, that you're off the market. So when you see women, those that know about it, of course, you can't just automatically assume that especially if you go to Hawaii or Guam, not everybody's going to automatically know, or any tropical island that wears flowers, that they're going to know about. Because I don't even know, honestly, if it's the same for a lot of places. But I know for sure in Guam, and almost sure for Hawaii and the Philippines, it represents the same thing, that wearing the flower on the left, it's kind of like your wedding ring to let them know that, hey, I'm off the market. Compared to putting it on the right side, lets the gentleman know that, hey, what's up. But that's the point behind that, on where you're wearing the flower. So, because like I said, whether if I wasn't wearing a hat, I would actually just slide this on. I don't have a lot of hair to be able to do it. This would be beautiful on you, Terry, with all that gorgeous hair that you have. You would just slide it on like that. But, because a lot of the times, flowers are worn when they're plucked, it'd be worn like this, and they would just stick it behind their ear. Simple enough. And that's it. Right side, that just lets the local island guys to say, hey, she's available. But the moment it gets onto the left side, they're like, uh-oh. But like I said, whether a lot of people are aware of the meaning of the placement of flowers, I don't know, because like I said, I've done it myself. I see a lot of women wearing it in the center. So that wearing it in the center, I don't know if that does have a significance. But I know for my culture that yes, wearing it on the left side represents that you're taken. So, but this is the second clip on I'm trying to work on, but my husband found my glue gun, but didn't find more glue sticks to go with it. And this is the one that's the bigger kind. And as you can see, I'm already getting to the point where when I pull the trigger on this, it's hardly anything is coming out. I would actually have to have one hand manually pushing. Maybe the same. That's a good one. I'll have to ask. I'm like, hey, Mom, so when you wear it in the middle, does that mean you're you're out there but not? So if I could find the different colors. I mean, like I said, I have come across some of the fake plumeria ones like these, but if I can find more colors, I would. But I like the fact that I was able to stack the flowers like this. to be able to just make the colors pop more. But as you can see with what I'm wearing, blue and red are two of my favorite colors. So, you know, mixing it, doing it like that. Oh, and this was the other thing I attempted to do, Terry. I got these fabric ink markers to try and color to try and color the petals, to basically mimic, well, not mimic, but to copy the this was bought like that. And there are some natural flowers, the plumerias, that are colored like this, but then a lot of them are either all white or they're all pink. I honestly, I don't remember what the other colors are, but these are very fragrant. But that's what I was trying to do, was just give some color to the tips of the petals. But I went a little too far, and then I ended up just coloring the entire petal. So yeah, when you look at it from a distance, yeah, you can't tell until, you know, you get up close. Like, what did you do? So I'm trying to see now if I would have to manually push this as I pull the trigger. So I don't know if I'm going to have enough to attach the second flower. So let's see. Hot. I would have to have something. Yeah, I can't unless I have something pushing the inside of it. Nope, that's not working. I can't even manually push it. I would basically need another glue stick, because the trigger basically grabs the next glue stick to push the other one further in. But even though I was trying to manually push it with the stick, it wasn't budging. So I won't be able to finish my red one. And I tried putting it on there to see what it would look like, and it's not bad. It's not bad on the bill of my hat. So it's not bad if I wanted to. But it's not the same. I mean, basically, if you want to see the flowers, like, I gotta look down. Let me see. Compared to this one, because I added enough glue to push the flowers down, so that way even at this angle, it is hiding the claw. I forgot what these were called. Grr, the alligator claw. Grr, I don't know. But you can actually still see the flowers. Yeah, with this one here, because I added enough and I pushed down the flowers, so that way, even as I'm looking straight on, you can still see the flowers. Or as I'm walking by, and especially, not that I'm tall, but anybody that's slightly taller than me will be able to see the top, or even as I'm looking down, you know, you can see it. So this one, so tomorrow when we get out to work, this is the one I'll be wearing since it's done, unless I can find, if I can find my other glue stick or even my other glue gun, then I can attach the little one to this one, so then I have an option. You just call them hair clips? I know there was an actual term to these, but I couldn't remember what they are. But there we go. One that's done for sure. I need to keep this on there. Got one that's done for sure. And then once I find more glue sticks or my other glue gun, then I'll have a blue and red one. Like I said, I could wear it like this, but to me, it's like I know there's something missing, so I'm gonna wait till I can attach this one. Alligator clips. Yep. Was I calling them a crocodile? Because which one is the one that has the thinner snout? It's the alligators. Yeah, it's the alligators, or is it the crocodiles? I could never remember which one has the difference between the two. I just know that one of the differences is one has a thinner snout. I think those are the alligators. That's why I think that's why they call these the alligator clips. So, but yeah. Terry, I don't know. One of the things I was talking about at the start of the live stream was one of my takeaways from this past weekend, because going out to San Antonio, going out to Port Aransas, I hung out on Saturday with my sister and her family to watch sea turtles baby sea turtles being released. And then Sunday, I went, because I caught a ride with my daughter Lexi out to San Antonio to meet up with my sister. And then I caught a ride back with Lexi to come back here. But I hung out with Lexi and her family and we did the river walk. But anyways, after spending the day at the beach, we were at the beach pretty much from like 6:30 a.m. and then we left to have lunch. It was already, and by that point it was our third beach. We went to 3 beaches, but it was already like after 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock, something like that, to go get lunch. I ended up getting really bad sunburn and I was dehydrated. So my feet were swollen, especially my left foot was swollen and red. Honestly, I maybe my sisters will know better than me, but I don't remember getting sunburned when I was growing up as much as I spent out in the sun. And even as an adult, you know, I've gotten tanned, maybe a little bit red, but not sunburned. I mean, my feet were swollen and my left foot was red and I was dehydrated. So yeah, bad, Melissa, bad. I knew better. I knew better to make sure to be hydrated. If you know you're going to be spending the day in the sun, whether you're at the beach or whatnot, to, you know, get hydrated, be hydrated so you don't have that issue. But I didn't do that. So I was a bad girl. So basically when I got home yesterday, or Sunday, I spent more than half the day yesterday with my feet propped up. I was using, it's aloe gel that has basically a little bit of the pain med attached to it, you know, mixed in there. So it'll help with any pain that you experience with sunburn. But I'm debating on whether to post that on my channel or not. I don't know if you guys want to see a picture of my feet, and not that they were, you know, I don't have pretty feet, but it was very obvious that especially my left foot, that was red and swollen. So my kids, my hubby were just like, oh my gosh, yeah, you need to get your feet up. And yeah, it was, I mean, even right now, looking at my left foot, it's not 100% recovered. So, but every day it has been getting better. So, and I've still been definitely drinking a lot of water. But it was a fun weekend. Do you have anything planned for July 4th? Like I said, I'm hoping my hubby will agree to it, but he already knows that I want to see fireworks. You know, not towards exploding right above us. We've already been there, done that. I mean, it's really cool for sure. But I want to see it to where we're close enough that as they're exploding up in the sky, it still looks pretty big. So our town, they always have an annual fireworks thing. It's an all-day thing. So not that we're going to actually do that, but because we want to still work for the first part of the day, and then um, and go bowling. Park at the bowling alley, go across the street because the bowling alley is across from the park where they're going to be holding an all-day event thing, and then they have the fireworks at night. But anyways, park at the bowling alley, go to the park, check out the events they're having, go back to the bowling alley, bowl, eat, hang out, and then just walk out to the, where we're parked, sit back, relax, and enjoy the fireworks. That's what I'm hoping is going to happen here in a couple of days. It can physically make you sick. Yeah, I mean, thankfully it was just my feet. I think if I did get sunburn in other parts of, like my arm, my face, because I wasn't even wearing a hat either. And I had my hat, but I wasn't wearing my hat often. And I think what did it for me was, other than being dehydrated, was because I was walking in the water, for the time that I was live streaming. So yeah, that didn't help. So you had the glare of the sun on the water, and it was cooking my feet as I'm just walking, and the water would be up to my ankles, sometime up to my calves. If we're leaving tomorrow morning to go camping, I'm loading the RV as we speak. That is awesome. You're going to be camping for July 4th. Are you guys going to be in an area to be able to see fireworks? My family in Washington, they do have an annual camping time, which will be next month. And I thought we might be able to go this year, but who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and be able to go next year. Because the last time I was in Washington State was back in 2018. So it's been a minute since I've been out that way. But that's awesome that you're going to go camping. I've only been camping one time. And it was fun. It's not the huge thing like it is now. I mean, where you're talking about like 5 families getting together, and they have their own camping, and they have a large area. So it's from the pictures I would see, they would set up the tent. One would be like the kitchen area, another one would be to eat and whatnot. So we're not gonna be in the area to see fireworks. The purpose is to get out of town because my dogs get very. Oh, okay. That's smart, and that's good. Is that what you guys do then every time to get away, so the dogs aren't dealing with the loud noise from the fireworks? Oh, so I wonder if I can return these. I opened them. They're from Michael's. So they probably won't let me return them, huh? Because I opened them. I can always just restaple it. Because I don't need these. I thought I was going to need it to make the clips, the hair clips, or the hat clips, but I don't need them. So I wonder if they'll let me return them. It'll be just one of the many supplies I have that I have no use for. Oh, I can smell my hubby is cooking dinner. At least I think that's my hubby that's cooking, unless I'm smelling the neighbor's dinner. But I think we're having chili dogs for dinner. And then I'm making pork chops tomorrow. But it's becoming a great idea. Well, hopefully you guys have lots of fun. That means hopefully where you guys are going though, you get to see the nice, clear starry nights. That's the other thing I like when you get to an area and you don't have the city lights, or even from suburban areas and the lighting from that, to not be able to see a clear, beautiful night sky. That's another thing that I miss. But yesterday, because we haven't had steak in a while, so we went and got some steak since it was just the hubby and I. We had steak and eggs last night, and then tonight he's cooking. I did the steak last night, so tonight he's doing his chili dogs. And then tomorrow, because I've been in the mood for pork chops, I'll be, at least that's the plan. Whether I'll be in the mood to cook, we'll see. Especially, please, I really hope we have a decent work days tomorrow. I mean, Thursday, it's going to be, Tuesday, no, Friday, so for Wednesday and Thursday, I hope it'll be decent work days for the apps. Because it's been really sucky, which I'm sure a lot of people have been experiencing the same thing with this summer lull. And it's been really rough. We're not making the money that we would typically make in a week. But of course, it doesn't help many vacations. Uh-oh. Did I just glitch there? Did I just glitch there? Because all of a sudden it just said, "You're live." But I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream. But first, just like I said at the very start of this live stream, and thank you to everybody that's been watching and supporting my channel. Whether you join me in my live streams, you're watching my long form videos. All my brand new subscribers to my channel, Situ Usmaasi, which means thank you, and Chamorro. And another special shout out to DJ and Dean, who apparently, which I didn't know, was doing a shout out to support my channel on Saturday, because I went to bed Saturday night with sitting at 986, I believe. And then when I woke up Sunday morning, I was sitting at 997. And then within 2 hours after the fact, I actually hit 1K subscribers. Hey, Corey, good evening. I actually hit 1K. But it's understandable. So for those of you guys that are following brand new channels, if you come across them on a live stream or the recommendation of someone else, just keep in mind, in order for your new subscription to that channel to stick, to be valid in the eyes of the YouTube company, is that to go and watch one of their short videos and comment on it, and that would make, or to help ensure that your new subscription to that channel will stick. Because even though I did actually get up to 1K on Sunday, throughout the day I started bouncing back and forth from 999 to 1K, and then come Monday morning I was sitting at 992, which is still great, because like I said, when I went to bed on Saturday night, I was sitting at 986, I believe. And I'm at the start of this live stream, I was sitting at 992. So I'm still happy about that. But again, DJ and Dean were pushing my channel, so they did help give me that push, and I truly appreciate that. It was a nice surprise to see that, a very nice surprise. Let me see. Okay, so it's back to 999 again. Hey, is it Lullaby? Sorry. Hey there, good evening. I was just talking about what happened to my channel over the weekend, but so that's awesome. Thanks for letting me know, Corey. But yeah, so at the start of this live stream, again, I was sitting at 992. So apparently I'm sitting at 999. So to be safe, I would think that I would still need at least 5 subscribers just to make sure I actually get over the 1K. So in case I do lose any of the new subscribers that joined my channel today. So, but that is so awesome. Now it's just my watch hours. It's just my watch hours. It did unmotivate me to work on, new videos, which when you're hitting a setback like that, if anything, you need to keep fighting and keep pushing. But it was hard because since March of this year, it has been a really tough struggle for my channel because a lot of my high viewed videos and live streams have been losing the watch hours. I actually got in March, the highest I got was over 3,600 watch hours. And I slid all the way down as of last week. I got all the way down to 3,120. So yeah, it's definitely been a very, very tough battle. And I did start to lose a little bit of my motivation to push every time. And my husband and my daughter keep saying, stop looking at it every day. And I can't help it. I can't help it. So, I do find, motivation when stuff like this happens, when I get people joining my live stream, commenting on my videos, and then those unknowing, surprise shout outs to my channel to help push it. So it's stuff like that that just puts a fire underneath me again and just get out there and do what I need to do, whether it's gig work, traveling, sightseeing, where'd it go? Crafting. This was one of the things we did in case you don't go back to replay what we did. But this was one of the first one that I finished. So, and then this one, because I ran out of my glue stick, I can't finish the other one. So until I can find it, but this was the final product. So I'll be wearing it tomorrow. So be on the lookout when I go live tomorrow. But it's okay. It took me a year and a half. You can do it. But the crazy thing is my channel will hit 2 years in September. So yeah, but it's okay. It's gonna happen. And having people like you guys, all you awesome people that are here right now, hanging out with me, and those that were hanging out with me at the start of the live stream, throughout the live stream, that may not be here, no longer watching, all of that again, that just really, keeps that spark underneath me to make sure I'm getting out here doing these live streams and just working on my long form video content for you guys to see. Like I said, I am still trying to edit the release of the sea turtles, the baby sea turtles. So it might happen tomorrow or the next day. But when I finish getting, so that way you guys can see it for yourselves. Cause like I said, that was a wonderful experience. So if you guys ever find the opportunity to go and watch the release of baby sea turtles, it really, really is cool to see something like that. Good. Every day I did for a long time, and I'll try. And then that's what I'll try. It's hard because I torture my hubby because I don't work by myself majority of the time. So when I'm live streaming, that means he can't listen to his music. So, and I torture my hubby, and I feel bad about that because that's one of the things that motivates him, is to be able to listen to his music when we're out there working. So, but anyways, again, Siju is Ma'asi, which means thank you in Chamorro to everybody that's here. And even those that didn't get to join me during my live stream, still, all my brand new subscribers to my channel. Again, if you just subscribe to my channel, it helps to validate your subscription to my channel if you go and watch one of my shorts, and short videos, that is, and hit the like and even place a comment. Just say hi, new subscriber, anything like that will help to validate the new subscription. But I was just told by Corey that I'm currently sitting at 999 because at the start of this live stream, I was at 992. So that is awesome. But you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I know my husband is waiting because he finished making the his chili dog, so it's time for dinner. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Terry, if you don't get to join, and if I don't see any of your live streams here the next day or so, enjoy your camping and your getaway. Everyone else, have an awesome night. Happy July 4th. I do plan on going live that day as well. But take care. Adios for now. Thank you, everybody. Hit that. I'm hitting the heart button on my other. Have a good night.